News at noon on Leadership Television. My name is Winifred Ubebo. Wife of the Akwa Ibom State Governor, Mrs. Patience Umo Eno, has vowed that top penalty will be dispensed to offenders as deterrent to widespread cases of gender-based violence (GBV) in the state. Mrs. Eno, who also warned those in the habit of perpetrating such evil against women to desist or be ready to face the full weight of the law when caught. Towards this end, the Akwa Ibom State First Lady has solicited for collaboration of governments at all levels as well as non-state actors in the ongoing fight against the scourge of gender-based violence with a view to curb the crime. The First Lady, who is the chairperson of the state GBV Management Committee, handed down the warning during the opening ceremony of the state GBV Awareness Month, tagged Implementing the Akwa Ibom State Violence Against Persons Prohibition Law 2020 from Awareness to Action, held at the Ibom Hall, Uyo, the state's capital. Represented by Deputy Governor Dr. Akon Eyakeyi, the governor's wife applauded the commitment of members of the committee in the fight aimed at reducing the alarming number of cases of human rights violations, describing GBV as a serious health issue that affects individuals, families, and communities at large. I'm proud of the efforts already made by the State GBV Management Committee, the Coalition Against GBV, and partners. GBV is not a violation of human rights, but a devastating public health issue with far-reaching consequences for individuals, families, and communities. It robs survivors of their dignity, impedes their potentials, and hinders our collective progress, Mrs. Eno explained. She therefore urged the Akwa Ibom people to actively participate in the campaign, noting that here in Akwa Ibom State, we recognize the urgent need to address this scourge head-on. It is our collective responsibility to speak out, to support survivors, and to challenge the norms that perpetrate violence, mindful of the fact that the fight against gender-based violence is not only a fight for women and girls, but a fight for justice and equality for all, including men and boys. Presenting his keynote address on the central theme of the event, the Dean, Faculty of Law at the University of Uyo, Professor Mojisola Esheyin, called for the establishment of special GBV courts to ensure that gender-based cases are handled with urgency, sensitivity, and expertise. Professor Esseyin also recommended adequate funding for the establishment of therapeutic centers in all the local government areas of Akwa Ibom State, the creation of JBV response units in churches and other religious organizations are some of the modalities needed to expedite pending cases and hasten the judicial process. Citing the tone for the ceremony, the Secretary of the State GBV Management Committee, Barrister Ete, narrated an ugly incident of abuse that recently led to the untimely demise of a female victim, stating that response to GBV crimes is a collective responsibility by citizens who should look out for their neighbors and reach out for help where needed. Barrister Ete informed the stakeholders and partners that the GBV awareness campaign, which holds throughout the month of June, is targeted at drawing attention to the scourge of abuse and rape, start conversations, and engage others in charting new pathways to end the scourge of violence crime in our society. That concludes the news at noon. Thanks for joining us. For more stories, log on to www.leadership.ng.
Thank you for watching. For sponsorship and advert placements, please contact 080-3688-6158. Last Word Leadership Podcast Studio. You have